Yes guys, and welcome to the first episode of the Pentagon Challenge here with me. If you didn't see the introduction, I've taken over Witbank Spurs, a side in South Africa, second tier, and they have absolutely no finances whatsoever. It's a poor club to manage, but I think I've done reasonably well with the budgets that I was given. I was £4 over the wage budget when I came in. That has had to be addressed. We've had no transfer budget even with the sale of players. And talking about sale of players, we'll get onto the transfers now to let you see what I've bought in and what I've got rid of. So Puti Mahafe left on a free transfer to start with. We then bought in got rid of Kenny Muthimkulu for 10,000, Amos Munguni for 18 grand, Richard de Villiers for 24 grand, Sibusiso Mubonane for 26 grand, Patrick Mubayiwa for 18 grand, Enoch Zwane for 28 grand, Randy Ngobi for 80 grand, Ralph Matema for 80 grand, and Peter Mubayiwa for 30 grand. So we bought in £325,000 worth of players. They didn't give me any percentage of the transfer revenue, so that all went to the club, as it is running on £100,000 loss a month on average, which is pretty poor. So I got rid of all those players. The only player I really miss would be Ralph Matema. As you might see in the introduction, he was my best player anyway, striker. He scored 4 goals in 9 for Bloemfontein Celtic this season. He's a good striker, but unfortunately he wanted to go to a bigger club, and speaking from experience, I know that when players want to go to a bigger club, they don't tend to perform to their standards, and their morale's really low, and I didn't want him dragging everyone else down, so I thought 80 grand was a decent fee for him anyway. And Dr. Shukasana Kagagolo Mtwane Rulani Ngunyali Sifo Malapena, Simpi Mtombela, Thulani Juwambi, Dumisani Gamede were all released on free transfers to help the wage budget, and Dumisani Tau went out on loan for £200 a month, plus a £10,000 agreed fee. I can recall him at any time. Just a squad player, so if I do get a couple of injuries, I can recall him. So that's all the outs, plenty of them, so I needed plenty of ins and I got them. First guy to come in was Lucky Kune on a free transfer, decent striker. He's got good finishing, good technical stats, really good physical stats. Lacking a bit in the composure department, but he is a decent striker. He's scored 4 goals so far this season, so he's not too bad, but he's got decent potential. He's only 23 as well. Then came in Bennett Munguni, centre midfielder, basically there for experience, 39 years old. He does play a fair few games for me. He's still got some stamina, his strength's good, he's mentally really good, and technically he's got the ability as well. Obviously he can't play every game, but he plays a fair few in the centre of midfield for me, and he's a decent squad player. Then came in Jody Van Wyk, a centre back. He's decent, he's a backup though. He's not got the pace yet. His mental stats need to develop. He is only 18 though, so they will. He's got a 4-star report, so I think he will be a decent player, but right now he's just a backup for the 2 centre backs. Cecil Oerson, a right winger. He's not my first team, but he has been playing more recent. He's got 13 finishing. He's really good mentally, but physically he's not that good. He came with a better report than he's got now, which I was disappointed about, but he has performed really when he's been asked to. 7.15 overall average rating is not too bad, and yeah, pretty decent player. Then came in Sifu Mungonzelu, a right winger. He is my first choice right winger. Unfortunately he got injured at one point, so he's missed a bit of the season. Absolutely amazing pace and acceleration. He's got really good physical stats at the age of 30. Not too bad mentally, could be better, but he's got 14 crossing, 12 dribbling, 12 for long throw, 13 for long shots, 11 technique. It's good teamwork as well and work rate, so decent player to have in the squad. Next in was Timothy Bataber. I think he's my captain. 17 influence shows you all. He's got really good mental stats at the age of 31. He's still not shot physically, but he's not brilliant. But 14 heading, 13 marking, and 14 tackling is really good for a centre half. And he has represented his country 37 times. I think that's Namibia. No, it's Botswana, sorry. Next in was Thabang Boreas, a right back. He's pretty decent. He's a good worker. He's got good mental stats, decent pace and tackling as well. He's just basically here for 1 year, I think. I don't think I'll be renewing his contract at the end of the season, but we'll see what happens anyway. But that's him. Next in was Abel Untho, needing to strengthen the striking area with Matema leaving. This guy came in 13 finishing, again lacking a bit in the composure department, but his physical stats are really good, and he's proved it. He didn't start as one of my first choice, but he's come in, forced his way in, and he's my top goal scorer in the league. Next in was Danny Isoso Mubo, centre back. He's absolutely fantastic in my eyes. 24 years old, 17 tackling, 11 marking, 15 heading. That can develop the marking. But 11's still really good for this league. He's a good worker as well. He's got a chance to develop all these mental, physical stats that he hasn't got yet. But he's only 24, so decent player. And as you can see, he's been almost ever present for me this season, apart from a little injury. Next in was Solomon Alpaco, central midfielder from Nigeria. He's decent in the key areas. He's really good mentally, really good physically as well. And 22 years of age, he's got plenty of time to develop his technical ability. His mental ability, the ones that he hasn't got may come with time, may not, but he's got the mental attributes that I wanted. Good work rate, good teamwork, determination, bravery and aggression. He's really good. So he's been a pretty decent player, and he's been completely ever present for me. Next in was Rodrigo Ebong, a left back. He's my only left back, so need to keep him fit as I can. 25 years old, really good left back for this league, I think. He's not got the best of pace, but 16 fitness, natural fitness, 16 strength, 14 stamina. It gives him plenty of time to get up and down. 15 tackling, 14 heading. He's decent mentally as well, and a really strong left back. Next in was Simba Sithole, a striker. This guy's got the finishing, the composure and the pace that you would think he would absolutely he'd score loads of goals in this league. It hasn't happened. He's only scored 2, but maybe once he's had a bit more time at the club, he might start banging them in. He's on top wage as well, so he needs to start doing that anyway. But yeah, he's got some decent stats, so hopefully he can start living up to his potential at the age of he's only 22 though, so he's got a bit of time to develop. Energy Murambadoro was next in, as Zimbabwe international goalkeeper. Really good goalkeeping stats. Not sure if I'm going to keep him on at the end of the season if we do go up, but I'll decide then. But he's a good goalkeeper for this league anyway, and he's doing the job that I need him to. Now these 6 players were all foreigners, all needed work permits, all got rejected and got accepted on when I reviewed it. But I could only name 5 in the squad, so I had to pick one not to name, and that was Ali Kadri, another goalkeeper. I didn't think he was quite as good as Murambadoro, but he's a decent goalkeeper. He's only 25 though, so he's got a bit of time to develop. So we'll see how he does. But he's had 1 chance in the cup and he conceded 2 goals, got 5.7 average rating, which wasn't good. So that's all the transfers. You're up to date. So I'll go on to the fixtures now for you. And as you can see, we had plenty of friendlies. Just tried to get some revenue in, but I couldn't. Not even against Kaiser Chiefs. Only £4 profit playing them. But thought I'd test myself against the Premier League side. Still, we got beat by 1-0 by Orlando Pirates at home. Not a bad result. But then we got beat 5-1 by Kaiser Chiefs at home, and 3-1 at home to Sundowns, which was pretty poor results in my eyes. I didn't want to concede that many goals, but at this point, we didn't have half the players that I signed. Especially the foreigners. But then we went and played Black Leopards at home, and they're in the top division. We drew 0-0, so that was a good result. It gave me a bit of confidence. And we then went and beat 2 non-league sides away. Lefale Young Killers 3-0, and we then beat Modimol Aces 5-1 away from home as well, with Lucky Kuna getting 2 there. Swallows were the next up at home. They're a Premier League side, and we drew 1-1. Another good result. We then played Fat Cats FC away and beat them 5-0. We tend to beat the non-league sides pretty well. Then played Supersport United at home, another Premier League team and the third Premier League team in a row. We'd drawn with 2-2. That's another good result, considering we didn't have a team still. The Dolphins FC, we drew 2-2 away. Disappointed with this because they are a non-league side, but it's only a friendly, so it doesn't matter too much. We then played Kaiser Chiefs at home, and to show how much we developed in the month since we last played them, we got beat 5-1 there. We got beat 2-1 this time, so the defence has been shored up a fair bit, mostly with Timothy Badabear, really good leader of the back line. We then played Jomo Cosmos, who are in our league. We beat them 3-0. Really good result this was showing how we'd fare against them. We then played FCAK in the First Division Cup round, got beat by a last minute goal to go out 1-0. Disappointed, but we did need to concentrate on the league, and I didn't want cup exploits to ruin that. Then played Jomo Cosmos for the second time in 2 weeks in a friendly at home again. We beat them 2-0 this time, so another good result against a team that would actually do well in our league. We then played African Warriors at home, 2-2 draw. These were a pretty poor side in our league, so I was disappointed with that. But we finished off the friendlies with a 3-1 home win over Supersport United, who are a Premier League side, so that was a really good result and set us up well for the start of the season. So the first game of the season was against FCAK, and we got our revenge for the cup defeat. We beat them 1-0 at their place, and it was a last minute goal from Falane with to give us all 3 points. We then played African Warriors and lost 2-1 at home. Now, having drawn at home in the friendly, and these are down the bottom of the league, so I was disappointed with this sit hole with the goal for us, but they held on to get all 3 points. And it started a bad run because we then got beat 2-0 by Roses United away. Isoso Mumbo giving them one of the goals, and lost 2-0 at home to Vasco da Gama, South Africa. Another poor performance. 3 defeats in a row wasn't good. But we then changed formation. I'm not sure whether it was changed formation or the players starting to gel together, but suddenly we hit a bit of form. Jomo Cosmos played them for the third time in a couple of months, and we beat them 2-0 again away from home this time. Ntho and Falane with the goals, and this was a really, really impressive result. We then drew our next 2 games, 1-1 at home to Sevilla Stars, Abel Ntho with the goal, and 0-0 against Cape Town. Nothing really to show. It was a pretty boring game, but another point on the board and a clean sheet. We then beat Milano United, who at the time were top of the league, 1-0. Lucky Kune with the goal. Just to mention, Jomo Cosmos, when we played them, had an unbeaten record in the first 4 games, so to beat them 2-0 at their place was a really good result. We followed that up with a 2-0 win away at United FC. Lucky Kune and a bong on the score sheet for us to give us all 3 points. We then played Dynamos at home and lost 2-0. I thought this was going to end the good run that we had. We had 3 wins and 2 draws, 4 clean sheets as well in the space of 5 games. So I was hoping that it wouldn't, but I thought it would. It didn't. We beat Santos 2-1 at home. Abel Ntho and Ebong with the goals to give us all 3 points. We then followed that up with a 2-0 win away at MP Black Aces, who we actually share the ground with, so it was a neutral basically. Abel Ntho with both goals. Decent win, and he's turning out to be an alright signing. He's scoring a few goals now. We then played Blackburn South Africa away and won 3-2. Sorry about that. Cecil Oerson, Sithole and Kune with the goals to give us a 3-2 win. Bit disappointed we conceded 2 goals, but then again, you're going to have bad defensive performances at some point. But if you look at the ratings, we actually didn't have that bad a game, so maybe they had a lot of shots. We then drew 2-2 at home to Blackburn South Africa in the South African Cup preliminary round. It was 2 goals from Magashwa and Oerson. We were 2-0 up, they then came back to 2-2, took it to penalties, and we missed the deciding penalty, which sent us out the cup. But again, we'll concentrate on the league. make sure we can get promoted and enhance my reputation. I then played Thunder Royal Zulu and beat them 1-0 at home. Lucky Kune with the goal. These were second when we beat them. This put us into second. But then we played Bay United at home, and these were bottom of the league, and we drew 1-1 with them. Really disappointed with this. Cecil O'Erson with the goal. They took the lead, we equalised, but we couldn't find the winner, and it dropped us back down the league a few places. But all in all, decent start to the season. We've only lost 4 games so far. 3 of them were in the first 4, so we've lost only 1 of 11, drawn 3 and won 7 of them. So we've had a pretty decent season so far, and I'm really starting to get into this league and into the challenge now of the Pentagon. So I'll show you the league table now, and as you can see, we are lying in 5th place, but we are joint on points with 3 other teams: Vasco da Gama South Africa, Thunder Royal Zulu and Milano United, and then there's a 6-point gap to Jomo Cosmos. Below us there is a 5-point gap to Dynamo, so maybe this top 5 is going to be the ones fighting out for these 3 places. These 2, second and third, I think will play each other, and then the winner will play whoever finishes 15th in that league for a place in the South African Premier League. So yeah, we need to start winning some more games to try and catch up Jomo Cosmos and go for first in the league. We were predicted 12th by the media. I think it was a mid-table finish by the board, so they're really pleased with me at the moment. I've got a very secure job. And yeah, if you look at the past positions as well, after 4 games we were down in 15th, but since then only 1 defeat in 11 has meant that we've climbed all the way up there, up to 2nd, and then drew and dropped down to 5th, but we are level on points with 2nd, so that's alright. So have a quick check out the reputation, see how it's developing, and as you can see, a national reputation already, and I've only been in the job for almost a year in the 2nd tier of South African football. So hopefully if I win the league or get promotion with a team that was never expected to be there, maybe a Premier League team will come calling, maybe someone like Orlando Pirates, Kaiser Chiefs, and I can go and win the African Champions League and get this stage over with. But yeah, so that's the episode for now, guys. I'll come back at the end of the season and review the final 15 games of the league, and I'll see you in May when I can go back over what has happened, and I will live com the playoffs if we get into them. Hopefully we'll get automatic promotion, so that'll be alright. But yeah, I'll join you back then and let you know how I've got on. So I'll see you later, guys.